No time for an intro. We are recapping the entire series of Legend of Korra in under 15 minutes. Let's do the thing.
What thing? The thing! I never had to tell Zhu Li what thing.
Book 1, Avatar Steampunk now. 70 years after Aang totally owned the Fire Lord, we meet the new Avatar, Korra, doing her best impression of the Kool-Aid Man.
I'm the Avatar! You gotta deal with it!
And like any good 6-year-old, she can flood the house, destroy walls, and shoot actual fire. You know, kid stuff. She grows up and quickly masters 3 of the 4 elements, and is excited that Aang's son Tenzin is set to come and teach her airbending. But Tenzin decides that he doesn't have time for that. He's an important government official. He doesn't have time to be taking trips across the world. So he takes a quick trip across the world to break the news to Korra. But Korra sneaks out and goes to Republic City herself, where she is welcomed with open arms.
Benders like this girl only use their power to oppress us!
We learn about Amon and his followers, the Equalists, who are set on getting rid of bending so everyone can be just as boring as them. Yeah, I said it. She quickly gets herself arrested and meets the chief of the metal bending police force, Lin Beifong. And Korra's like, Beifong? Wait, are you the daughter of that only person with a last name from that other show? She is. So Tenzin comes to bail her out and takes her back to his air temple on an island named Air Temple Island. And tries to teach her to spin in circles. And she's like, wait, did you mean run into a bunch of walls? It's no wonder she hates learning to airbend. But she loves pro bending and immediately joins a team.
Don't do anything too fancy or aggressive. In fact, don't do anything. Just try not to get knocked off the ring.
Tenzin firmly disapproves of this until he sees that she spins in circles one time for like 3 seconds, and he's like, what? And decides to let her keep pro bending.
And by the way, I kind of permanently joined the Fire Ferrets and we're playing in the tournament in a couple of weeks.
She hits it off with her pro bending teammates, Bolin
Right this way, miss.
Thank you, sir.
and Mako.
Oh, you're still here?
Okay. The team needs money for the championship entrance fee, so Bolin tries to make some money the old-fashioned way, by getting himself kidnapped and taken to a rebellious city rally to be made an example of. Yes, that is the old-fashioned way. Ask your grandparents. Mako witnesses Korra earthbend 2 small children, and then asks her to help him find and rescue Bolin.
You seen Bolin?
Nice to see you too.
They fight some Equalists, steal some flyers, and end up at an Equalist rally where Amon reveals he can take people's bending away. Anyway, they save Bolin and everyone lives happily ever after.
Bolin, you alright?
Yes, Mako! I love you!
Until Korra is ambushed by some Equalists. She gets chi blocked. Amon enters the room, he says some sinister stuff, and takes Korra's bending away. But none of that really
I
happens.
just had a bad dream.
Now Mako tries to make some money, but he goes the route of meeting a girl with a rich dad who's immediately willing to throw money at you. Meanwhile, Councilman Tarlok creates a task force to take down the Equalists and convinces Korra to join him. While Ikki mad dogs him hard for like 18 seconds straight. Seriously, 18 seconds. Go check the episode.
I think you're the first authority figure in the city who's happy I'm here.
Republic City is much better off now that you've arrived.
Mako is dating Asami, and Korra makes things weird.
I don't know. Asami and I are...
Look, I really like you and I think we were meant for each other.
Then Bolin makes things weird, which makes things less weird. But then Korra and Mako make things weird again, which makes things more weird.
Bolin, this isn't what you think.
Finally, they're like, okay, everybody stop falling in love with each other. Then Korra meets Asami and begins falling in love with her, turning this love triangle into a love square, I guess. But Korra learns that Asami's father is a bad guy, who is supplying weapons to the Equalists. He asks Asami to join him, and she thinks about it, but decides to electrocute him instead. Korra and the gang are bad at naming things, so they form a team called
The new Team Avatar!
Tarlok starts putting all of Korra's love interests in jail, and when Korra confronts him, she learns that he has a really cool office and is a bloodbender. He puts Korra in a box where she finally meditates and learns of another bloodbender, Yakone, that Aang stopped years ago. Fun fact, Yakone is actually voiced by the same voice actor who does Mr. Krabs. If you listen closely, you can tell. Amon shows up and resists Tarlok's bloodbending, and easily defeats him while Korra escapes. Korra and Mako then learn that Amon and Tarlok are brothers and learned bloodbending from their father Yakone. That's right, they are Yakone's children. The tensions between the Benders and the Equalists finally culminate in a war. Asami's dad read all the wrong parenting books and decides the best way to win his daughter back is by attacking her with a giant mech suit. But Bolin comes in and saves the day, speaking some truths
You are a horrible father!
and helps Asami defeat her father. Amon kidnaps the Airbenders to try to wipe out Airbenders forever. Didn't somebody already try that? Korra saves them, but Amon takes her bending away. And he's about to go for Mako's bending when Korra learns that
I can airbend?
she can airbend.
I can airbend!
She can airbend! And she defeats Amon and saves the day. Korra is sad that she won't have bending anymore, but then she realizes that there's going to be a season 2, so she gets her bending back from Aang so she can have more bending adventures. Book 2. Mostly just snow. Korra goes to the Spirit Festival at the Southern Water Tribe, and the chief of the Northern Water Tribe, Unalaq, comes too. I like to call him Uncle Locke because he's Korra's uncle. I'll just call him Unalaq. He brings his kids, Eska and Desna, and Bolin is immediately attracted to Eska's bright personality.
Perhaps it would be interesting to spend time with a person whose ways are so rough and uncultured.
Before dark spirits attack, and Unalaq jumps in and saves the day with some streamers. He says to Korra, I need your help opening the spirit portals because that will help people, or help the spirits, or something. Whatever. The point is, I'm totally a good guy and you can trust me. Here's my hostile army to prove it. Meanwhile, Asami and Bolin meet the genius entrepreneur Barrick. That's right, the inventor of world-changing tech like
Radio for pets. Hand shoes.
He takes them back to Republic City, and they tell the president what's going on. Oh yeah, there's a president now. But the president refuses to interfere with Water Tribe affairs, which makes Korra angry.
I'm trying to save my tribe, and you're taking pictures.
And even worse, Mako, who is now in the police force, agrees with him, leading Korra to damage someone else's property. And she and Mako break up. Oh yeah, they were dating again, whatever. Korra goes speedboating and is eaten by a dark spirit worm. Hey, if you don't want to get eaten by a spirit worm, don't go boating. Everyone knows that. Korra wakes up on an island and has a vision of the first Avatar, Wan. Wan and the rest of humanity lived on the back of giant plot devices and will be granted bending temporarily to venture off into the spirit wilds. But then, Wan interferes with a couple of kites, and one of the kites, Vaatu, turns out to be a real jerk and wants to throw the world into darkness.
Thank you, human. You have performed a great service for the spirits.
So Wan travels to the other plot devices, collecting the elements, and with the help of the other kite, Rava, is able to hold all 4. Fire, water, earth, and air. As long as Rava stays fused with Wan, he will be the Avatar, and so will every one of his reincarnations. To celebrate, they imprison Vaatu in a tree for thousands of years. Korra goes to Tenzin for help communicating with the spirits, and Tenzin's like, sure, yeah, I communicate with the spirits all the time. Why, just the other day I was communicating with my boy Spiritin, and he was like, hey Tenzin, you gotta come back to the spirit world soon and we can play spirit ball and do some communicating. Luckily, Tenzin's daughter Jinora actually can communicate with the spirits, and she helps Korra into the spirit world. It's there that she learns that Zuko's uncle was way better than her uncle. And Uncle Iroh decides to drink tea and give some advice for a change.
In the spirit world, your emotions become your reality, especially for the Avatar, because you are the bridge between the two worlds.
Anyway, then the bad uncle comes and kidnaps Jinora, forcing Korra to open the spirit portal. Team Avatar regroups and tries to stop Unalaq, but it's too late. Vaatu escapes and merges with him, making him a dark Avatar, who then severs Korra's bond to Rava, forcing her to lose her Avatar-ness. But then, just like any good Avatar, she becomes a giant blue thing and saves the day, restoring her Avatar-ness, but never regaining the ability to connect with her past lives. Korra decides to open the spirit portal so spirits and humans can once again live together.
I've decided to keep the portals open. Humans can now physically enter the spirit world, and spirits will be free to roam our world.
Hope you like living next to Ko the Face Stealer, everyone, because that's the world you live in now. No, it's too late. Korra already opened the portal. Book 3. This show is on the same channel as SpongeBob? The Spirit Portal shenanigans gave a bunch of people airbending to restore balance to the world. Korra goes with Tenzin to recruit new airbenders from the Earth Kingdom to come and learn the ways of airbending. And for some reason, everyone is like, oh, the power to control the wind and basically fly? Boring!
So you're like the Avatar or something. Big deal.
Luckily, there's one dude who is really stoked about airbending. Unluckily, it's a high-security prisoner bent on destroying all world governments, Zahir. Zahir uses his newfound airbending to escape his cell and be pretentious.
Have you ever read the poetry of the great airbending guru, Lahima?
He frees his 3 BFFs, and they immediately all go get their hair done together. They do look great, though. Meanwhile, the corrupt Earth Queen is kidnapping all the new airbenders to create an Earth Kingdom airbender army. So Team Avatar frees them and gets their recruits. They head to Lin's sister's place, the metal city of Zaofu, where Korra learns the metal bend and Bolin doesn't. Zahir's peeps show up and try to kidnap the Avatar in this epic fight. Korra follows Zahir to the spirit world and learns that he is the leader of the Red Lotus, and had originally been working with that guy from Season 2 that we all forgot about already before he was betrayed and imprisoned. Now his goal is to get rid of all government in the world and have total anarchy. He puts his money where his mouth is when he murders the Earth Queen. That's right, he creates a vacuum around the Earth Queen, in turn creating a power vacuum around the Earth Kingdom. I see what you did there, Zahir. That's cute.
Freedom is just as essential as air.
He kidnaps the new airbenders, but Tenzin does not go quietly.
I will never let you get to Korra.
But he still goes. See? He's not quiet. Zahir catches Korra and learns to fly, which is impressive because nobody has ever done it before except for the other 4 people who have done it before.
Did he just fly?
And Zahir enacts his plan to poison Korra and kill her in the Avatar state, which would end the Avatar forever. They fight. The new airbenders save the day and Zahir somehow survives this. And Suyin gets the poison out of Korra. Unfortunately, the whole incident left Korra injured and broken-spirited. Book 4, Lasers. The new airbenders are trying to keep the peace in the power vacuum of the Earth Kingdom, while Kuvira is trying to take it over, with the help of Bolin and Varrick. Mako becomes the security chief to the rightful heir to the throne, Prince Wu, who is definitely not super annoying.
I'm allergic to strawberries. I don't think I can breathe. Get me to the hospital. Woo down.
You're allergic to bee stings.
Oh, right. I always get those two mixed up.
But through all this, Korra is still missing.
What do you mean? Isn't Korra already here?
No, we thought she was coming with you.
She spent her time writing to Asami and apparently listening to lo-fi hip-hop beats, and attempting to recover with the help of Katara. When that doesn't work, she starts to spiral a bit, entering into these dangerous underground fighting tournaments. Korra gets into a fight with Korra, and when Korra wins, Korra realizes that Korra wasn't actually Korra. So Korra finds Toph, who helps her remove the rest of the poison that's still in her body. Feeling stronger, Korra goes to stop Kuvira from taking over Zaofu in a one-on-one fight, but Kuvira proves herself to be a formidable threat. Bolin and Varrick suddenly realize that Kuvira is bad, Adoi, and are forced to build a spirit energy weapon, but Varrick instead turns it into a bomb, complete with a timer and a remote.
Why do you have a timer and a remote?
Well, first I built the timer, but then I thought, you could drag me off the train, so then I built a remote. But then I thought, well, now do I really need the timer anymore because I got a remote in my head? Whatever! I'm covering all my bases. The point is, you're leaving, we're staying.
Bolin does the thing, and the two of them go to warn Republic City of the impending threat.
Bolin?
Remember when adding a snack compartment to a stick was considered technologically advanced? Well, now we have this. And Kuvira decides to use it to invade Republic City. She destroys the Republic City fleet with a one-hit KO, so it's up to Team Avatar to save the day. Korra fights Kuvira, while Bolin and Mako do some other stuff. And they blow up the robot. Korra and Kuvira have one final showdown that culminates in a blast of spirit energy so powerful it opens up a new portal. Kuvira is like, oh wait, I am the bad guy, and the day is saved. Korra and Asami are finally like, let's ditch that whole love triangle thing from before and just make it a love line, or a love line segment. You know what I mean. They're a couple. They decide that they want to be together and need a relaxing vacation for all the end of the world stuff they've been dealing with and walk hand in hand into the spirit portal together. The end. And there you have it. The entirety of The Legend of Korra in under 15 minutes. We just made it. No time for an outro. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to do the thing. By that I mean comment below.
I never had to tell Zhu Li what thing.